Nobody likes to feel like they're being manipulated. It's that unpleasant twist in your stomach when you realize that someone is trying to control you, not for your benefit, but entirely for theirs. Today, we're going to uncover the truth about dealing with manipulative people, particularly narcissists, who excel in the art of control and deception. In the world of Stoicism, we learn to detach from our emotions to see the situation for what it really is, a test of our endurance and wisdom. This episode isn't just about understanding the dark tactics of narcissism. It's about empowering you with the knowledge to reclaim your peace and autonomy. We're diving deep into strategies that not only help you recognize these tactics, but also teach you how to turn the tables on those who think they can tamper with your mind. So, let's arm ourselves with the wisdom of the Stoics and prepare to take control back from the manipulators in our lives. 1. Ignoring them. It's a bit of a paradox, isn't it? The less attention you give to those who crave it the most, especially narcissists, the more power you gain over the situation. Stoicism teaches us the virtue of indifference when facing things outside our control, including the behaviors of others. By choosing to ignore a narcissist, you're not just taking a passive stance. You're actively deciding where to allocate your energy. This choice aligns perfectly with the Stoic principle of focusing solely on what's in our power, our actions, responses, and where we direct our attention. Now, let's break down what ignoring a narcissist really entails. It's not about giving them the silent treatment or being overtly dismissive. Instead, it's about withholding the kind of attention they thrive on. Narcissists feed off emotional reactions, your anger, your frustration, your sadness. When you deny them these reactions, it's like cutting off their supply line. You keep your emotional responses measured and your interactions brief, functional, and devoid of the personal engagement they seek. Think of it as practicing the Stoic exercise of objectivity. You interact with them as if you were a scientist observing an experiment, without any personal attachment to the outcome. This detachment is powerful because it shifts the dynamic and forces the narcissist to face the vacuum of their own neediness. Without your reactions to sustain their ego, they begin to lose their footing, making their attempts to control you less effective. Moreover, ignoring a narcissist aligns with another Stoic practice, the reserve clause. This mental tool involves approaching every action with the understanding that you will carry it out, fate permitting. In this context, it means engaging with a narcissist only when absolutely necessary, and always with the awareness that any attempt to change or influence them is outside your control. You maintain your peace by accepting that you can manage only your actions and reactions, not theirs. But here's an interesting twist. When you start ignoring a narcissist's attempts to engage you emotionally, you might notice a temporary increase in their efforts. They might escalate their behaviors, trying new tactics to get a rise out of you, anything to regain their lost sense of control. This is where your Stoic resilience is tested. You may feel tempted to react, to defend yourself, or to set them straight. It's natural, but remember, every time you engage, you feed the cycle. The key here is consistency. Your consistent indifference can be disorienting and incredibly frustrating for them. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. By applying this wisdom, you not only protect your emotional well-being, but also become a less appealing target for their manipulations. In practical terms, this means setting and enforcing strict boundaries about what behaviors you will and will not respond to. For instance, if a conversation turns manipulative or derogatory, you disengage. This isn't running away from the problem. It's choosing not to entangle your peace of mind with someone else's chaos. Over time, this approach not only lessens the impact a narcissist can have on you, but also reinforces your own sense of autonomy and respect for your mental space. 2 settings. Boundaries might just be the unsung heroes in our lives, particularly when dealing with personalities that thrive on control, like narcissists. In Stoicism, the emphasis is often on internal boundaries, setting limits with our responses and emotions. However, when interacting with a narcissist, external boundaries become just as crucial. It's about knowing where you end and they begin, defining what is acceptable in your interactions, and more importantly, what isn't. When you establish clear boundaries, you're essentially teaching others how to treat you. This isn't just about saying no or keeping someone at arm's length. It's about defining your personal space, both emotional and physical, and deciding what you will allow into that space. For narcissists, who often see others as extensions of themselves rather than separate individuals with distinct needs, this can be incredibly disorienting, and that's exactly why it's effective. Let's consider the Stoic idea of focusing only on what we can control. You can't control a narcissist's actions, but you can control how you respond and what you accept. Setting boundaries is a proactive approach to managing your interactions. For instance, if a narcissist begins to raise their voice or use manipulative tactics, having a boundary might mean you calmly state that you will continue the conversation once they can speak respectfully, or perhaps not at all if respect isn't possible. This practice of setting boundaries is not just about protecting yourself, it's about preserving your dignity in the face of disrespect. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." In the context of dealing with narcissists, this can mean we fear the conflict that setting boundaries may bring more than the actual outcome of setting them. But once those boundaries are in place, they serve as a fortress, protecting your mental well-being. Implementing these boundaries consistently is where the challenge often lies. Narcissists are known for testing limits, repeatedly pushing to see if they can coax you into bending your own rules. This is your chance to practice another Stoic principle: perseverance. Every time you reinforce your boundaries, you strengthen your resolve and reinforce your self-respect. This doesn't mean being rigid or inflexible. It's about being firm and clear in your convictions. An essential part of setting boundaries is also knowing when to enforce them. It's one thing to tell someone what your boundaries are. It's another to act on breaches of those boundaries. Let's say a narcissist tries to guilt you into doing something you're uncomfortable with. Enforcing your boundary might involve reminding them of your stance, disengaging from the situation, or even seeking external support if the breach is severe. This enforcement tells the narcissist that your boundaries are not just words, they are non-negotiable lines that must be respected. Setting boundaries with a narcissist, or anyone really, is a profound act of self-care. It's not about control or power over another. It's about asserting your right to control your own space and interactions. As Marcus Aurelius puts it, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. By setting and maintaining boundaries, you reclaim this power, shaping your environment in a way that allows you to live in accordance with your values and peace of mind. 3. Withholding validation, a Stoic approach to dealing with narcissists. In the intricate dance of interpersonal relationships, validation is often the most powerful currency. It reassures, uplifts, and strengthens bonds. But when you're dealing with a narcissist, validation takes on a whole new dimension, one that can feel exhausting, manipulative, and at times even suffocating. Everyone enjoys feeling appreciated. We all crave recognition and acknowledgement. It's human nature. But for a narcissist, Validation is not just a desire, it's an insatiable need. It's the fuel that keeps their ego burning, the oxygen that sustains their self-importance. Now, here's a little secret, one borrowed from the wisdom of the Stoics. When you choose to withhold validation, you're not being cruel or withholding kindness. You're engaging in a form of emotional self-preservation. You are practicing what I like to call emotional economy, learning where to invest your energy and where to protect it. The narcissist's fire. Think of a narcissist's ego as a raging fire. Every compliment you give, every approval you offer, is like tossing another log into the flames. The more you feed it, the bigger it grows. But what happens when you stop? What happens when you no longer provide the fuel? At first, they may panic. They may lash out, try harder, demand more. But over time, the fire, without constant fuel, begins to dim. The flames die down, the smoke clears. And in that stillness, something shifts. This isn't about revenge or punishment. It's not about playing mind games. It's about reclaiming control. It's about deciding that you will no longer be a pawn in their endless pursuit of validation. Emotional independence, the Stoic way. Stoicism teaches us the power of detachment, not cold indifference, but a deep, unshakable emotional independence. When you withhold validation from a narcissist, you're not just refusing to participate in their manipulative tactics. You're reinforcing your own emotional boundaries. You are teaching yourself an invaluable lesson. Your energy is yours to give. Your approval is not an obligation. Your validation is not a free resource for someone else's endless consumption. This doesn't mean you become heartless. It doesn't mean you stop acknowledging people's efforts. It simply means that you choose authenticity over appeasement, responding with neutrality. When a narcissist seeks validation, whether by boasting about an achievement or fishing for compliments, you don't have to play along. You don't have to shower them with admiration. Instead, practice neutral acknowledgement. For example, if they brag about an accomplishment rather than inflating their ego, you can simply say, "I see you worked hard on that." It's direct, it's honest, and most importantly, it doesn't feed into their hunger for excessive praise. By responding in this way, you subtly shift the power dynamic. You stop being a constant source of external validation, and in doing so, you break the cycle of dependency. The challenge of withholding validation. Make no mistake, this is not easy. Narcissists thrive on control, and when you refuse to engage in their game, they will notice. At first, they might react with confusion, frustration, or even increased attempts to extract the validation they crave. They might test your boundaries. They might try to guilt-trip you. They might become more demanding, but this is where your strength lies. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." And strength is exactly what you need to stay grounded when faced with emotional manipulation. The moment you stop allowing someone else's need for validation to dictate your actions, you reclaim your power. Resetting the balance. Withholding validation is not about depriving someone of kindness. It's about resetting the balance in your relationships. It's about creating a space where your approval is not expected to be automatic or unearned. When this balance shifts, something beautiful happens. Interactions become more genuine. Connections are no longer based on one person's relentless need for attention, but instead on mutual respect. How to start practicing this approach? If you're new to this, start small. Pay attention to how often you offer validation. Are there moments where you compliment someone just because it feels expected? Even when it's not entirely sincere, begin by reducing these moments. Focus on being genuine rather than reactive. This will feel uncomfortable at first, but over time, you will notice a profound shift, not just in how others interact with you, but in how you value yourself. Am I giving this because I want to, or because I feel obligated? And in that moment of awareness, you'll realize something powerful. Your validation is a gift, not a guarantee. Use it wisely. Maintaining confidence isn't just about walking into a room with your head held high. It's a profound expression of knowing your worth and owning it, irrespective of external validation. This inner belief is pivotal when navigating the tricky waters of relationships with narcissists, who often prey on perceived weaknesses. Stoicism offers a treasure trove of wisdom on cultivating such unshakable confidence, emphasizing the importance of being grounded in one's own values and judgments rather than the fluctuating opinions of others. True confidence stems from a clear understanding of one's virtues and a commitment to living in alignment with them. For a Stoic, this means developing qualities like wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation. When you nurture these virtues, your confidence grows naturally because it is rooted in something enduring and not just the superficial approval of others, which can be fickle and fleeting. In interactions with a narcissist, this type of confidence can be your best defense, acting as a shield against their attempts to undermine your sense of self. Imagine facing a narcissist's critique or manipulation not as a personal attack, but as a test of your Stoic principles. They might say something designed to make you doubt your abilities or worth. A Stoic approach involves stepping back and examining these claims objectively, asking yourself whether they align with your understanding of yourself and your values. If they do not, then these comments can be dismissed as irrelevant noise, not worth disturbing your inner peace. This process of internal validation is essential. When you depend on external sources for your self-esteem, whether it's praise from others or material success, you give away your power. But when your confidence is anchored in your own assessments and the quality of your character, it becomes impervious to the whims of those around you, including narcissists. They thrive on your uncertainty and self-doubt because it makes you more susceptible to their influence and control. By maintaining your confidence, you effectively close off a vital avenue they might exploit to destabilize you. Moreover, practicing confidence in this way has a visible impact. There's a certain aura that comes with genuine self-assurance. It's almost tangible. The calm and deliberate composure of someone who knows their worth is striking. For a narcissist, encountering this kind of demeanor can be disarming. They are used to leveraging insecurities, so when they encounter someone whose self-value doesn't waver based on external validation, their usual tactics lose potency. Maintaining this level of confidence requires regular reflection and mindfulness, another Stoic practice. By regularly examining your actions and motivations and aligning them with your core values, you reinforce your self-awareness and, by extension, your confidence. This doesn't mean you won't have moments of doubt or uncertainty. Those are natural and human. However, the Stoic practice of reflection helps you navigate these moments without losing sight of your broader virtues and worth. To start strengthening your confidence today, engage in activities that reinforce your values and personal growth. Set goals that challenge you and reflect on your progress toward them. Celebrate the small victories, not because of the accolades they might bring, but because they represent another step toward becoming the person you strive to be. Over time, this builds a robust sense of self that is not easily shaken by anyone, let alone a narcissist. 5. Thriving independently is one of the most empowering realizations you can come to in life. It's about understanding that your happiness and success are not dependent on anyone else, especially not a narcissist. This realization doesn't just open the door to self-sufficiency. It's a profound understanding that your sense of worth, fulfillment, and peace come from within. It's about cultivating a life so rich, so full, that whether someone is with you or not, whether they stay or leave, does not alter your core sense of self. You become so grounded in your own happiness that no external factor can shake it. At the heart of this realization is the wisdom of Stoicism, which teaches us to depend solely on ourselves for our emotional well-being. It teaches us that external circumstances, including relationships with others, cannot dictate our inner peace or happiness. When you embrace this mindset, you start to focus on your own personal growth, your achievements, your progress, without relying on a narcissist for validation or support. You no longer feel the need to seek approval from someone whose love or attention is conditional. As you begin to focus on your own growth, you begin to dismantle the unhealthy power dynamics that may have once been present in that relationship. Narcissists often thrive on the idea that they are indispensable, that their presence or absence defines you. They want to foster dependency, to bolster their fragile egos. But when you develop the confidence to pursue your own interests, to make your own decisions, and to celebrate your own accomplishments without seeking their validation, you send a clear, unspoken message. I am enough. I am whole. I am complete on my own. This isn't about pushing people away or rejecting the need for companionship. Quite the opposite. It's about building a foundation within yourself so strong that you no longer need anyone to complete you. Relationships, instead of being the cornerstone of your identity or happiness, become additions to your life. They enrich your world, but no longer define your worth. This shift is life-changing because it forces the narcissist to confront a truth they cannot bear. You no longer need them to feel validated. You stand tall and firm in your own power. By investing in yourself, whether through education, developing new hobbies, advancing your career, or focusing on personal wellness, you take back control of your life. You reinforce your independence. You send a message to the universe and to those around you that your happiness and success are yours to create. You are the master of your own destiny, and no one can take that away from you. The narcissist's influence begins to fade as you no longer seek their approval or validation. You learn to trust yourself, your instincts, and your abilities. Imagine building your life like a fortress, not to keep others out, but to keep yourself firmly rooted in your own truth, your own worth, and your own goals. Each brick of that fortress represents a personal victory, a moment where you overcame fear, where you chose self-love over self-doubt, or where you chose peace over chaos. Each brick is a testament to your strength, a symbol of your resilience. The more robust and fortified your inner fortress becomes, the less impact a narcissist or any negative external force can have on your life. Stoicism serves as the perfect tool to fortify these walls. It teaches you that the ultimate control over your feelings and reactions comes from within, not from the praise, approval, or manipulation of others. Stoicism encourages you to find peace and contentment within yourself, to rely on your inner resources to face life's challenges. You become less and less affected by what others think or how they try to manipulate your emotions. You learn to maintain your composure, your peace, and your dignity, no matter the storm around you. Thriving independently also means embracing challenges, not as burdens, but as opportunities for growth. Stoic philosophy encourages us to see obstacles as stepping stones to greater self-awareness and strength. Every challenge you overcome, every setback you face and rise above, not only builds your resilience, but also reduces the emotional grip a narcissist might have had on you. You start to see yourself not as a victim of circumstances, but as a capable, strong, and empowered individual, fully capable of navigating life on your own terms. You grow confident in your abilities, knowing that you have what it takes to thrive, regardless of the people around you. To truly thrive, it's essential to set goals that align with your values and aspirations, not those imposed on you by others. The world may try to dictate who you should be, but you must stay true to yourself and the life you wish to create. Celebrate your progress along the way, no matter how small, and learn from your setbacks without letting them define you. Engage with communities that uplift and support you, and prioritize relationships based on mutual respect and genuine connection. These are the relationships that nourish your soul and contribute to your growth. Thriving independently also means learning to enjoy your own company. It's about finding joy and peace within yourself, recognizing that being alone doesn't equate to being lonely. In fact, this realization is one of the most powerful, especially when dealing with a narcissist. It shatters the myth that you need someone else's presence to feel complete, to feel worthy, or to feel valued. You come to understand that your worth isn't dependent on the approval of others. You are enough, as you are. And that truth, once fully embraced, is incredibly empowering. By thriving independently, you are no longer subject to the emotional manipulations of a narcissist or anyone else who seeks to control or diminish your sense of self. You have built a life that is uniquely yours, rich in experiences, full of personal victories, and surrounded by people who support and value you for who you truly are. You become the creator of your own happiness, the architect of your own destiny, and nothing, not even the most narcissistic of individuals, can ever take that away from you. 6. Staying calm in the storm. Navigating the turbulent waters that narcissists often create around them can feel like being constantly caught in a storm. The key to not just surviving, but thriving in such conditions is staying calm. Something easier said than done, right? But here's where the ancient wisdom of Stoicism can be your anchor. The Stoics teach us the art of equanimity, the ability to remain peaceful and composed regardless of the chaos swirling around you. By mastering this art, you can turn what seems like a disruptive force into a test of your resilience and growth. Staying calm in the face of a narcissist's storm isn't about suppressing your emotions or pretending that the provocations don't affect you. Instead, it's about recognizing these attempts for what they are, strategies designed to unseat your balance and assert control. Stoicism provides a powerful framework here, emphasizing control over one's reactions rather than the situation itself. When you respond with calmness, you retain your power and deny the narcissist the emotional response they seek. Consider the image of a deep-rooted tree standing firm amidst a howling wind. The tree bends and sways, but does not break because its strength lies not in rigidity, but in its groundedness and flexibility. Similarly, when you stay calm, you become like that tree, flexible yet unbreakable, allowing the winds of narcissistic chaos to pass without uprooting your sense of self. This involves observing the situation with detachment, acknowledging your emotions without letting them dictate your actions, and choosing a response that aligns with your values and integrity. This process begins with self-awareness. By understanding your triggers and acknowledging your emotional responses, you can start to see the patterns in how a narcissist tries to engage you. This insight allows you to prepare and decide in advance how you will respond, or if you will respond at all. For example, if you know that a certain type of comment or behavior is designed to provoke anger or anxiety, you can mentally rehearse maintaining your composure and not allowing those words to penetrate your calm exterior. Another Stoic practice that can help here is the principle of amor fati, a love of fate. This doesn't mean you have to enjoy the negativity being directed at you, but rather that you accept it as part of your current experience that can be used for your growth. Viewing challenges as necessary parts of your life's narrative changes the nature of the experience. Instead of an attack, it becomes an opportunity to practice your ability to remain tranquil and composed. Moreover, staying calm also involves physical composure. Deep breathing, mindfulness, and grounding exercises can help maintain a calm demeanor. These techniques not only keep you physically relaxed, but also reinforce your mental commitment to not getting drawn into the drama. They remind you in real time that you have control over your body and your reactions, a fundamental tenet of Stoic philosophy. Finally, practicing calmness is a continual process of engagement with your inner self. It requires you to regularly reflect on your responses, learn from each interaction, and gradually build up your emotional resilience. Each successful instance of maintaining calm not only diffuses the immediate situation, but also builds your confidence in your ability to handle future storms. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the Stoic Life Journal. If you found value in our video, please click on one of the suggested videos on the screen to continue exploring how Stoicism can transform your daily life and motivate your mind. We appreciate you being a part of our thoughtful community. Until next time, remember, true strength lies in mastering your emotions, setting firm boundaries, and refusing to feed a narcissist's need for control.